Hi there. In this video, I'm going to explain how to enable two-step verification or two-factor authentication for your Google account that you use at Teton Science Schools. Now, first, what is two-step verification and why do you want it, or why would you want it? So when you log into a computer or website or a service, you have to prove that you are you. You have to authenticate to make sure that the computer on the other end that you're communicating with is able to confirm your identity. This process is called authentication, and there are like four ways or four factors that you can provide that will prove that you are who you say you are. One of those options is something you are. So a good example of this is if you have a fingerprint reader on your phone, your fingerprints are unique to you. So if you can scan your fingerprint, you can prove that you're you, and then you can access your account. iPhones and Android phones have this, or have for the last couple of years. Another way you can prove you're you is something you know. That's the second option down here. This is something you're used to. This is a password, so or a PIN, or some kind of shared secret that only you know. And so, because you know the shared secret, that proves again that you are you. It authenticates you. Another option is something you have, so an object or a device or something that only you possess. The key fob that you use to get into buildings at Teton Science Schools is an example of a something you have, or just your house key. A key that you use to get in and out of your house, something only you have, so it proves that you are you when you're getting in and out of your house. And then finally is, excuse me, I need to change this one, it's someone that you know. And this isn't used as much online. It's more used for website verification. But it's kind of like if you go to the gym and you see somebody you know there who's trying to check in at the desk, but she's forgotten her key fob, or forgotten that barcode dealie that she uses to scan in at the gym. You can say, oh yeah, that's Betsy. Like, I know her. She comes here all the time. And if you vouch for her, then that's someone you know. And that's a way to authenticate yourself. So with what you're used to is one-factor authentication, which is something you know. And this is a first step towards security for your accounts, but it's not the last step, because passwords can be stolen, passwords can be figured out, passwords can be guessed. And if someone does one of those things to your account, then they'll be able to access it even though they're not you. And so two-factor authentication, or two-step verification, is adding a second factor. It's adding something you know and also something you have to your account, so that you need both of these things in order to log in. You actually do this all the time. A good example of two-factor authentication that you probably use every week is your ATM card. When you go to withdraw money from the bank, you need two things. You need something you have, which is your ATM card. You can't withdraw money if you don't have that in an ATM. And then you also need something you know. You need your PIN in order to use that with the card. So you need two things. You need something you know, your PIN, and something you have, your card, in order to get your money out. And if you don't have both of those things, then the ATM machine doesn't know that you are you and won't give you any money. Sorry. So here's how you set up two-factor authentication or two-step verification for your Google account. First of all, you'll need to open up a new browser window and go to accounts.google.com. And you'll reach the page with all of your account settings for Google. I'm going to scroll down and look on the left-hand side here for this link that says signing into Google. That's what I'm interested in. So I'm going to click on that. And then to turn on two-step verification or two-factor authentication, you'll see it right here where it says password and sign-in method, and then you have two-step verification. It's currently turned off. I want to turn it on. So I'm going to click on it. All right, and then it'll give you a little information about two-step verification, and you're going to click Get Started. You'll need to re-enter your password. And then you need to set up a phone. So you'll need to actually have a phone with you, and you'll need to have cell service or be able to receive text messages when you're doing this. I'm going to go ahead and do this off screen, but I'm going to go ahead and enter in my account or my phone number. And then Google's actually going to send me a text message to my phone. It's going to confirm and send me a text message to my phone, which I just got. I'll bring it up real quick for you. Mine looks like this and tells me what my verification code is. So it's a 6-digit one-time use code that I'm going to go ahead and enter. And then you get a message that looks like this, which says that it worked. You've turned on, do you want to turn on two-step verification now? Go ahead and say turn it on. All right, so now I have two-step verification turned on for for this account. And so what does that mean now? Well, if the next time I log into my account, I'm going to sign out for a second here, and then I'll go ahead and sign back in. It's going to say a text message with a verification code was just sent to your phone, which you guys can see right there. And so I'm going to enter that text message, that code, which was, let's see, 758228. And then you get this option here, which is remember this computer for 30 days. This is a box you're going to want to leave checked if you're logging into a computer that you have access to, that you control, that you use all the time, like a computer on your desk or a computer at home, a computer that you are pretty much the exclusive user of. This is a good idea to keep this checked, so that way you don't have to enter this code anymore. However, if you're at a public computer, you're using a public terminal in an airport, or you're logged into a public computer that grad students or instructors use, you might want to leave this unchecked. It's kind of up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and check this because I'm at my own computer and click done. All right, and then so now that's two-factor authentication. So anytime I log into my account or someone else wants to log into my account, they need to know both my password and they need to have my phone as well in order to be able to get in. And it's pretty unlikely someone's going to have both of those things, so it makes my account a lot more secure. Now, one of the problems with this, or there are a couple, but one of the problems you can guess is if you lose your phone or if you don't have a cell signal, you can't get text messages, then you can't get codes to get into your account. There are a couple ways around this. I'm going to go to two-step verification here and show you one of them, the one that I actually use. For instance, the Kelly campus, I get terrible cell service and don't always receive text messages. So this option doesn't really work for me out there because I won't be able to receive a code like I just demonstrated. So I'm going to actually use something called the Authenticator app instead, which is an app that you download for your phone. I'll log into it and show you what it looks like. So this is what Google Authenticator looks like. It's an app you can download, and it generates these 6-digit codes. It doesn't need a data connection. It doesn't need to be connected to Wi-Fi. You don't need to be able to send or receive texts. In order to set this up, you click on the little 3-dot menu in the corner here and choose Set Up Account. And then there's an option here that says Scan a Barcode, which is what I'm about to do. So I scan a barcode. And then what I'm actually going to do with my phone is I'm going to hold it up to the screen and I'm going to scan this barcode. There we go. And now I get this message, secret saved. And what I have now is my this last entry here is the 6-digit code that I have for this Google account. So whenever I need to log in using this technique, I need to have my phone with me. I need to open up this app and it will generate this 6-digit code. And the reason I'm okay sharing it with you is because it's going to generate a new code every 30 seconds. So again, if somebody wants to log into my account, they need both my password and my phone in order to do this. So now it's saying that I need to prove that this really worked. So I need to enter this code, which is 473336, verify, and I'm all set. So those are the basics for how to set up Google Authenticator. One more thing that you'll probably want to do if you're going to try this out is you're going to want to set up what are called backup codes. So this option right here generates basically like a printable set of codes you can stick in your wallet in case you've forgotten your phone or you've lost your phone or your phone's been stolen. You can still get into your account using a backup code. Also, because you're on a managed domain with TSS, if you contact IT, we'll be able to reset your account as well, even if you lose your phone. So you don't have to worry about getting locked out of your account. There's still going to be a way in through one of these methods if that happens. So the last thing I guess I want to cover is, should you turn this on? That's a good question, and I'd say it should be affected by two things. The first one is, how important is the information that you have access to? If you work in finance, you work in HR, you work in development, then you should really consider turning this on. This is a really good way of preventing both casual eavesdroppers and determined attackers from getting access to data through your account. And if you have data worth protecting, this is a very effective way of doing that. Also, think about how much you move around. This is more complicated and more cumbersome to use if you switch computers a lot. So if you're someone who doesn't have an assigned desk computer, say you're an instructor or an AmeriCorps member, you're moving around to different computers all the time. If you are a Journey student, this is also not probably a good choice for you because it's going to mean you're entering these 6-digit codes a lot, and that can get old after a while. So it's a little bit more appropriate for folks who actually have a single computer that they're always using, where they can just add that computer as a trusted device. If you're moving around a lot, probably not a great choice for you. So if you've got more questions about two-step verification, contact us at the IT Help Desk, and we'll be happy to help you get it set up or answer any questions you have about using two-step verification. Thanks.